I'm back. What's up, guys? Whoa, hold on. Sorry. What's up, guys? Welcome to another MLB The Show 25 stream here on Twitch. I'm NextJG Gen 24, and yes, I am back from vacation after 2 weeks. 2 weeks of going to see 5 MLB ballparks. It was truly amazing. I'll talk about it later. But right now, I've got a lot of stuff to catch up on, and I know you guys are going to tell me that. So obviously, I've been keeping up. Like, don't get me wrong. I've had my X notifications going, so I've seen the content that they've dropped. Don't worry about that. That's not the concern. The concern is that I need to get to 400,000 XP. I'm just under 100,000, but I need to get to 400,000 in order to get to the second boss pack here. And I have just over a week to get that done. Not a lot of time for me to get this done. So I gotta go. Actually, I just remembered I need to do something real quick. If you'll give me a couple minutes. I know I'm kind of wasting time here, but this is actually important. Let me see. There we go. There it is. Okay. Um, let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Mm, can I make this disappear for a little while? Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to delete this for now. Okay. This is the play with or against me in MLB The Show 25. I really hate to do that, guys, but here's the thing. There's a lot of content that I need to catch up on. Okay, and I cannot be wasting time trying to play games against viewers. I I'm really sorry that I have to do that, but I need to do that in order to make sure that I get everything done here. Okay? So it will be back next week. Okay? I can assure you it will be back. But for now, it's just not going to be there. So I do apologize for that. But I hope you guys understand why it is that I went the way I did. And as you guys can see, I know the color storm came out. I'm checking out the Yankees for no particular reason. It's just as an example. Oh, yeah, Yankees. Okay. I'm going to go check out the Mets because they have a lot of good rewards here. I mean, they have the icon, they have the Apple bike, they have the Mets City Connect uniform. They also have the Mets alternative home uniform, the black unis. And then, of course, Mark Vientos. He was the color storm. This is the guy that I voted for. So, yeah, he's our Mets color storm. There are obviously a lot more. I'd like to go through them, but I just don't want to waste any time. Next up, I know there were a couple player programs that were released, starting with the MLB Rivalry Weekend program that gave you Hunter Brown and Adolis Garcia. All right. There are a couple of stat missions here that we'll be doing. There's also a conquest map that I will get to, and then there are moments. So, no surprise there. That's weird. Some of the control or the little analog sticks on my new controller. I want to point out that this is a new controller. I literally got it today because I was playing Road to the Show yesterday, and I noticed how my thing was shaking and it was going up. stick drift, so it was time for me to get a new one. The other new program that I missed out on was the Moonshot program. Obviously, you can see all the rewards here. You know I'm going for Jose Siri. He's in there. And then there's Luis Harris. There's Josh Smith. There's also Roberto Clemente. There's the Full Moon, which I don't necessarily care what's in here. So whatever I get, I get. And then the Eclipse as well. A lot of good ones here, but doesn't really matter which one to me I get. All to get Brian Roberts, which I find this very funny that they decided to do this, get Brian Roberts, because this guy was not a power bat by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, you're talking about 92 and 90 power. I just find that funny, but obviously we could get started by doing the liftoff, which means we have to hit one home run. It's not a moment. It's just, just hit a home run somewhere. And we're going to have guys there are stat missions. There are collections that we could do. And then the Moonshot collection. Actually, I'll show this off. At 16, you get Carlos Delgado. Shame that he's in a Blue Jays jersey. I would have liked him to be in a Mets one, but it is what it is. He is better known as a Blue Jay than as a Met. Yasmani Grandal when he was with the Dodgers. Obviously, a lot of power here. And then Byron Buxton is the collection reward at 41. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to him, but I sure as heck am going to try. So those are the themed programs. There's also not interest. I know I have the Ralph Kiner one left to do. I just got to get the XP to get it, unlock his card. And then once I do that, I'll be good. And then the May Spotlight programs, this is drop 2 and 3. Obviously, drop 2, you get Matthew Lugo. You get Stephen Kolek. And then you get Jason Dominguez as the reward plus the Spotlight. There are no Mets here, so whatever I grab, I grab. And then for drop 3, okay, you get Mick Abel. You also get Moises Ballesteros. I hope I'm saying that right. If I say it with an accent, I apologize. And then Wilmer Flores, he's the reward. I mean, solid all around, but he's clearly a DH. They put him at first base, but he's a DH. And then no Mets to be found in here, so I'm not really that interested. What's up, CJ? How are you? Yeah, it was great. It was great all around. And then, of course, there's a lot of new stuff as well. I mentioned the Conquest, rivalry weekend. That came up after I had left. The Boston Red Sox City Connect jerseys, which I actually like these a lot better than I like the other City Connect ones, because at least these make sense. They make them green like the Green Monster. Okay, now that makes sense. The other ones, that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But it is what it is. And then a turtle map as well. So you got those. You also have, what's up, gamer? Reverse, I went on a 5 MLB ballpark tour. I went to 5 MLB ballparks that were all within driving distance of me. I started with Philly, then went to Baltimore, down to Washington, D.C., and then I headed out west to Pittsburgh, and then to Cleveland. I just got back last night. So I got to see 5 amazing ballparks. It was great all around. It really was. Mini seasons, I kind of started this because I'm going to do this off stream, but you got the lefty long ball one. I already have my lineup all outfitted and everything. I'm not going to do this on stream. This is going to be off stream. Yeah, well, I was I wanted to do it, and I'm glad that I did it. I had an absolute blast doing it. Thank you, gamer. Long time no talk, by the way. Haven't seen you for a while. Um, they're obviously this one you have to hit with left-handed hitters or switchies, and you also have right-handed pitchers, silver. So those are the restrictions there. But if you could get those done, you got Moonshot Series, Rich Gossage, or if you could get these, if you could get some of these goals done, you get Rich Gossage, Tom Seaver when he was with the Reds. I could see that's his Reds one. You could also earn Michael Bush, J.P. Crawford, and the one that I'm interested in, Mets version, Jesse Winker. So that is something that I plan on doing off stream. And the end game for it is Tony Gwynn, Moonshot Tony Gwynn. So there's a lot of XP to earn here. There's like 10,000 for winning the whole thing. You also get 9,000 for making it to the playoffs. So you got 19,000 XP, not to mention winning 28 games. Now 28,000. 35,000 for winning 23 games, and it goes on and on. I think the total is like 45,000, 54,000, my bad. So I will be doing that off stream so that I could get that done. And then finally, Diamond Quests. I think it's so funny that they give Nolan Ryan the common there in the Mets uniform because he was actually really solid with the Mets. They used him as a reliever, and then he became a star once he got to what was it? He went to California or Houston first. One of those teams. I want to say he went to California, but maybe he went to Houston first. But those are the Diamond Quests, the Moonshot Diamond Quests. I haven't done that yet, but you guys know that I tend to stay away from Diamond Quests on stream because they are just no good. Or they the whole glitch just makes me not want to play. So with that said, we say we get some games in. And let's just start with a regular play versus CPU game. Let's just get back into the fold here, and let's get back to winning some games. I think that would be a great way to start. Just give me 1 second here. I'm going to turn my ringer off. Actually, I could just throw it on silent. Because I'm annoyed that that my family is texting each other like that. Where was it that I was playing for the minor league stadium? Was it Ship It? I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was Bayfront? I don't know. There was a minor league stadium that I was playing in. Maybe it was Franco. I did like Franco when I was playing it in MLB The Show 20 when I first started streaming. I like the look of it. But I think I was playing at Ship It because that makes the most sense. Alright, so let's see. Who's the furthest along, actually? In terms of parallel XP, I know I missed out on the five times parallel XP. Musina? Okay, we'll go Musina. I'm good with that. Oh, one other thing that I want to show off, obviously, the multiplayer program. We're not in Weekend Classic, are we? No. I didn't think we were, so why is it showing me the Weekend Classic when we're not even there? That's weird. But anyway, the third drop of the multiplayer program just came out today. So, this is something that I'm going to do next week. I'm going to grind the multiplayer program. Obviously, I cannot get to Pedro Martinez right now. I wish I could, but I can't get to him. And I'd rather just buy him or get him in the next multiplayer program. So I'm not too worried about Battle Royale. Gold Standard. Not too interested in it, but obviously you have Josh Hader, you have Rafael Palmeiro. After I left, they introduced the Dodgers version of Mike Piazza, so I'm going to be grinding for him. And then they just introduced Brian Dozier today, so we got all that. We got a lot of XP to grind out here, but we have a little more time with the multiplayer program. So I'm not going to be in any rush to do it, but it's definitely on my to-do list, so to speak. All right. Oh, no. We don't want to play away. No. No, we want to play home. We want to play at home. There we go. Much better. So, yeah, it was great. There were just pros and cons with each stadium, and that's kind of how I look to approach each visit. Just kind of like, okay, if there are any pros, are there any cons? Or if there are any cons, are there any pros? That's how I tried to go about with it.
Leading off the afternoon for the
Not that I was trying to say, one stadium was better than the other. I mean, all the ballparks have different aspects of them that are great, and then others not so much. Like, as an example, I'll pull up my notes here because I took down some notes. I figured I was going to talk about this. So for the Phillies, because that was the first one that I visited. So for me, what I liked about it, the crowd, I thought they were very enthusiastic, very passionate, and it was a very big crowd. Okay. Every fan got a giveaway. That's another big sell for me. They were giving away a Zach Wheeler bobblehead, strike 3, sit down. So so everyone got one. I was like, normally I see the first 15,000 fans. That's who gets the giveaway. Otherwise, no one. Otherwise, you don't get it. And that's not even like half the fans that could fill an entire MLB stadium.
Ball outside.
And to me, that's disappointing. And some teams that I did visit, that's what they did. Strike 3, sit down. But for the Phillies, I could tell you every fan got a bobblehead. And I was very pleased by that. They also have what's called the Phillies Super Pretzel. And what was really cool about this, they made the pretzel in the shape of the Phillies logo, the giant P. So I thought that was fantastic. I didn't buy it, but I just thought that was really cool. And then the other thing that I marked down here, I think because I was just trying to find some positives. Harper, I saw Harper get his 1,000th career RBI. I think anytime a player hits a milestone, whether that be career, season, maybe in a game, maybe it's a record or something, anytime that happens, I think that makes the game so much better. So so those were my Philly pros. That's what I liked about Citizens Bank Park. Obviously I'm going to be biased as a Mets fan. So, but I tried to keep my bias in check here. I did my best to make sure that I kind of saw it through a baseball fan's eyes rather than a New York Mets fan's eyes. But there were things that did concern me. So it was very crowded while walking around. Again, this goes back to, a lot of fans there, 40,000 plus, good. I'm not saying it's a bad thing that you don't have that many fans, or I'm not saying it's a bad thing to have that many fans in there, but the flip side of that was it was very crowded. And walking through it just kind of felt like I was sitting in bumper to bumper traffic. And nobody likes to sit in bumper to bumper traffic. So that was one con. They also had no in-game hosts. So it's like they would do certain activities, but they would have the PA announcer do it. And you say, well, not every team has in-game hosts, but I could tell you out of the what's up, SB? How are ya? I'm just talking about Philly and some of the pros and cons of visiting the stadium. I was actually just talking about the fact that they have no in-game hosts. Okay, and it's like if there's something that you want me to see in between innings, well, I need hosts there to be able to direct my attention. Because otherwise, I could be looking down at my phone, I could be at the concession stand, I could be in the team store, and I wouldn't know what's happening.
Leading off for the White
All right, it might be a choice. After all, not every MLB team has to have one. I just think it makes the game that much better having in-game hosts. Otherwise, it's just boring. It's like, okay, why should I care about the in-between inning stuff if you're not going to direct my attention to it? Strike three, sit out. The Phillies won. That's me looking at it through a Mets fan perspective. Obviously, Philly fans are going to be happy about that, but as a Mets fan, that was just a con. And then they also didn't have the shirt. It didn't have a shirt that I was looking for. I was looking for one that said Citizens Bank Park, home of the Philadelphia Phillies. And then I came to realize that was foolish. I should have just been looking at the pennants. And had I done that, I probably would have gotten one. But I was looking at T-shirts, and that's just what disappointed me. Strike three, sit out. So I feel like overall it was a decent stadium. Not really the best, but then again, I am from a Mets perspective, so. Yeah, you're right. No team has that. That's why I should have just gone with the pennant. Like, the teams have pennants that have pictures of their ballparks and say the ballpark's name. So, and I found that out in Baltimore, and that's what I got. I've got it right here, actually. Hold on. That's Progressive Field. Hold on. There we go. All right. Which one is the Orioles? I think that's the Orioles right there. So, like, this is what I should have been looking for, or something like this. This is what I should have been looking for at Citizens Bank Park. But I was so set on a T-shirt that I wasn't focused on that. So that's my fault. Um, that's why it's kind of like a meh kind of con, because it's
Hey, X. 1-1.
like if I had just been looking for pennants,
Hit.
or if I had realized sooner that I should have
1-2
been
the
looking
count.
for pennants, then that wouldn't even be on there.
He's out.
So it is what it is. But those were just the pros and cons of Philly. And then next up was Baltimore. I like that they opened the gates 2 hours early. Like, that's really early. The Mets don't open up their gates until an hour, and that really doesn't give me a lot of time to be able to walk around the stadium if I wanted to. So having the Orioles open 2 hours early, it was a Sunday game, and they were also doing youth baseball and softball day. So a lot of the kids were walking around the track of the stadium or the field. So
Ball.
I just like that Baltimore was they were early with their opening. And I also put this down as well about what I expected to see at the ballpark. It's about what I expected. If you were looking for, if you play it in the game, it looks exactly like it does in real life. I'm not saying the other MLB ballparks don't match up with what they look like, but I'm saying that Orioles Park at Camden Yards definitely it's about what you would expect, which is the statues, the view, getting to be on top of the right field wall. I took a great picture from that. That was pretty cool. It was just about what I expected. And overall, that's good. I was expecting certain things. I'd say, or actually another pro here, good seat. I had a great seat, for very cheap. So I was very happy about that. I thought I got good value for what I paid for the ticket. I also put down here, hold on.
0-2.
Trying to pitch. Strike 3, sit down. I also put down here, very cool, Brooks Robinson statue with the gold glove. That's something I took a picture of. If you go to my Instagram, JDub2020, you'll see that I took that picture with the Robinson statue. It's a selfie, basically. And I thought it was very cool, especially the gold glove part. I think that makes sense. After all, he was one of the best fielding third basemen of all time. Honestly, I think he gives the meaning to being to the hot shot corner. Like, anything that came his way, there's a reason why they called him the human vacuum, because he would grab any ball that came towards him and he would make the play. Now, even if most third basemen couldn't do it, but Brooks Robinson did. So, I thought that was very cool, and it made a lot of sense. And this statue is outside the ballpark. I want to make that very clear. This is not a statue that's inside the ballpark. It's outside of it. Okay? Yeah, there are statues in the ballpark, but the statue that I'm talking about is outside of it. Let's see. You can make your own baseball trading card at the ballpark. I thought that was very cool. I did not see that anywhere else. Or I didn't see that at any other ballpark that I visited. That was the only one. And I kind of wish that I had done it, but I bought the pennant,
1-2.
so I just felt like it wasn't worth it for me to do that. But still very cool to see that I could have made my own trading card. I definitely would have loved to have done that. And I also put down here, got on the scoreboard. Yes, I did manage to get on the scoreboard at Orioles Park. I wish I got a picture of it, but I didn't. So I do apologize about that. But I can tell you, I did make it on the scoreboard. The cameraman was showing it or pointing the camera right at me, and I was waving my pennant. I had my Orioles shirt because I bought one the day before the game.
That hit him. Batter, take your base.
So, you know, to me, that's always a plus. But the flip side of it, and this is just me kind of self-loathing, I guess. The flip side of it is it took me 10 years to get on the city vision board or on the big screen at Citi Field. It took me 10 years. I attended a game in 2012, and I didn't get on the scoreboard until 2022. And yet, my first game at Orioles Park, what do? I get on the scoreboard. So, you know, that's really just me kicking myself like, why did it take so long for me at Citi Field?
It's 0-1.
Especially when you consider that I had been to multiple games in that time frame. Multiple. So, all right. Now for the cons of Baltimore. No, not really much of a team Hall of Fame. They did have the Babe Ruth Hall of Fame, or the Babe Ruth Museum around the corner from my hotel, or you had to walk away. But it wasn't like a long walk. It was like maybe a tenth of a mile at worst. It was really close, but it was really about Babe Ruth. It was not about the Baltimore Orioles and Eddie Murray, Brooks Robinson, Cal Ripken Jr., Jim Palmer. You know, they weren't really mentioned there. So, you know, I'd like to say that there was a team Hall of Fame. I didn't really see one. And I really wanted to learn the history of the Orioles because I think it's important for any baseball fan to know the history of a certain team, and if you're really not getting exposed to it beyond like four different players. I mean, yeah, they had a Wall of Fame like the Phillies do, and I'll get to that in a second. But it just really, I was hoping for a lot more, I guess. Like, I had seen better, and I'll get to that in a sec, but the Phillies Wall of Fame, I thought that was neat. I also liked that they had the two giant World Series trophies. As much as I don't like seeing that as a Mets fan, I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, overall I thought Citizens Bank Park was a decent stadium. I didn't really have any complaints about it, other than it was crowded and there are no in-game hosts. Let me see. What was another con of the Orioles? Hold on, if I could just get through this batter, maybe I'll get a little bit of time. All right. So a little confusing getting into the ballpark. I wrote in parentheses could have been that it was just because it was youth softball and baseball day, but the Harry Callis statue, I don't believe I did. Oh, that was the other con that I thought about of Citizens Bank Park. They had that weather delay when it really only rained for like 10 or 20 minutes, and they had a weather delay for like a good hour and a half, maybe. Yeah, a good hour and a half. And I was like, why would you pause the game for that? Like, you could have just started the game, and then when it began really raining, you could have paused it and then came back. So that was just, I thought the weather delay was kind of unnecessary. Excuse me. But yeah, for Baltimore, it was just very confusing because I couldn't tell which line I was supposed to stand in. So I just didn't think it was very well organized getting the fans into the ballpark. I mean, that's just my opinion. Maybe it makes sense to Orioles fans, but it really didn't make sense to me. It was like, this is how it was. Let's say the gate is over here. They had it go all the way back and then towards the front of the ballpark, like this. And then let's say the other gate is over here. Hold on. Over here. Went back behind the line, the first line of the gate over here, and then just went that way. I mean, it just made no sense to me. Like, why would you not have them go out? Or why would you not have them... Yeah, like, why not go out that way? Or... It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. It was very confusing. Oh, the other thing that I liked at the Orioles park, grab-and-go food. And Cleveland also had this, so I was happy to see that they had it. But Baltimore is really the first stadium that I saw that at. And I really feel like that at some point every MLB ballpark should have that. Like, just grab whatever food you want and then go up to the little checkout machine and then go ahead and place your order. Hold on. So why they didn't? It's because it was the first game about the weather and not starting and wasting the. They are one of the better teams about the weather. Oh, I see what you're saying. See, I guess I'm old-fashioned because, like, to me, you should not make fans wait for the start of a game because here's the thing. If that game goes late, I mean, my game was on a Friday. So that was fine. But what if that game was a Monday night or a Tuesday night? What if it was during the weeknight? You would have a lot of fans leaving before the end of the game because they got to get home, they got to get sleep, and they got to go to work the next day. That's really my issue. Strike three, sit down with the weather delays. Okay?
One. 0-1.
Well, I mean, they could have started. I still argue they could have started it, and then
0-2.
And then they could have paused in between.
Did he go?
I get what you're saying, but like I said, I'm old-fashioned, and I'm of the belief that we should start the game, and then if the rain is really bad, we could pause it, and then come back to it. It didn't even last long. It was like 20 minutes. Or it rained for like 20 minutes. That was it. It really wasn't a long rain delay. They easily could have started it and then if they needed to take a pause for like 30 minutes or whatever, then they could have. But that's just my argument. Yes, but those fans, if that were a weekday game, would they stick around that long? You know, if that were a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday game, how many of them would actually stick around for the entire game? Most of them would be leaving by the 7th inning because it probably, I think it started at like 8:30, and then it went till like 11 at night. And even me and my cousin and my cousin-in-law, we left the game early. We left it when they were leading in the top of the ninth. You know, so before the Pirates scored the 2 runs or the 1 run to bring it to 8-4. But I understood. He wanted to go home. He was tired, as was my cousin.
He's up.
The center fielder, number 24.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess that's, you could chalk that up to me not understanding the mentality of the Phillies fan. I just am thinking of it as a baseball fan, you know, who has had late games
0-1.
or games go late, and it was during the weekdays, and I was pretty tired at work. And work was not happy about that.
That's a ball.
Eventually to the point where I had to stop going to Mets games because I was just too tired. So, but if Phillies fans really don't care about that, hey, all power to them. Mad respect, but I would not stick around that long. I would just get out of there before and try to get as much sleep as I can. Strike 3, sit out. Let's see.
For the White Sox.
Yeah, the other Baltimore con that I had here is it was just a boring game. Okay, the Nationals absolutely dominated the Orioles. Orioles tried to make a comeback late. They had a few home runs, but it was clear that the Nationals were going to win. So it was just kind of boring. Definitely one of my least favorite games that I saw.
1-0.
Let's see. Now next up is Washington, D.C. So, much like Baltimore,
The batter, number 7.
much like Baltimore, Washington, D.C. had a great hotel location. It was literally down the street from the park, so great. I could enter it, no problem. Great sightseeing. I mean, I think that's the value of going to Washington, D.C. is the sightseeing. You know, you're going to see the Washington Monument,
0-1.
Congress, you're going to see the White House, you're going to see the Lincoln Memorial. You're going to see all the monuments and memorials that are in Washington, D.C., and I think that's the true value of it. So, it's kind of like New York in that aspect, where it's all about the tourism. It's all about the sights. I'm not saying that's an issue for... I'm not saying that's an issue, but I am saying that New York and Washington, D.C. are very much alike in that aspect. Strike 3, sit out. I also had here $5 Tuesdays at the ballpark. I mean, I always love it when parks run promotions like that, where you could get food for cheap because I mean,
That's a ball.
at Cleveland, chicken tenders and fries and a soda, and these were like 3 chicken tenders. Okay, 3 chicken tenders, and like half the box was fries and not even full. That was $20. So whenever ballparks have like $5 hot dogs or $5 sodas or beer or whatever, I appreciate that as a baseball fan because that means I can have 2 hot dogs, a soda, and a beer for like $20. You know how much that would? I would think that would cost me around $40 or $50 on a regular day. So having that promotion for cheap food and beer and soda, I'm all for that.
That's a ball.
And then piggybacking off of that, the hot dogs, oh my God, they were huge. I've never seen hot dogs as huge as Washington had them. That was insane. I was like, I could probably eat a hot dog and a half, and that would count for 2, in my opinion. But oh my gosh, big hot dogs. I also put down here, great PA announcer. You know, just I thought he was the best out of all the 5 MLB ballparks that I was at. Just very energetic when he announced the names of the players. Whenever he tried to get the crowd into it,
Ball.
I think he did a great job.
1-0.
Also, I put down here karaoke battle for beer. So this was one of the things in between innings that they did, where I forget the song that they had them sing, but basically they had these 2 girls try to sing the lyrics of a song, and if they did it, then they would get beer. So I thought that was great, especially if they do some of the classics, or if they do some of the currents. The Nationals won. The Nationals, Washington.
Now batting,
He was great.
the center fielder, Jackson.
I wasn't really impressed with the Phillies PA announcer. I was more interested. I thought the Nationals PA announcer did a better job. And then I also put down here jump around. They have a
That missed. That's a ball.
they had a inning where they played jump around and all the fans just got up. I mean, they didn't. Some jumped around, but others just kind of went like that. And there was one guy that was just having a grand old time, just dancing to it. The camera was on him, so he was shown on the scoreboard. I just thought that was a lot of fun. It's definitely a sports song. Like, it reminded me. I've seen the YouTube videos the YouTube video of how the fans at the University of Wisconsin, I guess during like the 3rd quarter or whatever, all the students would stand up and jump around, and they play jump around to it. So that's what it reminded me of.
Hey.
Okay, so maybe that's why. I mean, maybe I can excuse him then. That's why I didn't really put down, I didn't put down, like, Phillies PA announcer. Like, I'm not criticizing that. I'm just saying the Nationals one was much better. That's why I put down, great PA announcer. That's not a knock against the Phillies or the Orioles. You know, that's just me saying, okay, you,
Now pitching.
this PA announcer was really into it. So I'll get to the cons of Washington in a second. I just need to
0-2.
get this out. This was a complete disaster.
Nope, ball.
2 runs, multiple hits, yet only 2 runs. Really disappointing. All right, so there were things.
Now the designated hitter.
There was this one thing that I'm kind of on the fence. The liquid Blue Claws. I've never been to a Blue Claws game, so I wouldn't really know how great that announcer is. So I'm sorry.
Ball. 2 strikes.
Strike 3, sit down. But this one thing with the Nationals, I'm kind of on the fence on. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Hold on. Playing or doing this. Trying to. Okay, well, like I said, I've never been to a Blue Claws game, so I wouldn't know how the PA announcer for that guy or for that team sounds. Strike 3, sit out. All right, but anyway, back to Washington here. So what the fans do after the Nationals score a run, they do this chant. They say NATS, nuts, 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 woo! And like, as a Jets and a Mets fan, okay, that really obviously spoke to me because our the Jets, we do JETS, 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 and then as Mets fans, the 7-line army, what they do struck him out, woo! That's what they do. So, that's just, as a Mets, I appreciate that, but at the same time, it kind of feels like they're taking things from. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they actually came up with it on their own, and I'm just being a little paranoid. But what the heck? Okay, I don't want this though. I'll figure it out later. Okay, I guess I can't sell anything until I figure this out. But that is bizarre. That is bizarre. So, while I appreciate it as a Mets and a Jets fan, I also kind of feel like that. I also wonder where they came up with it. Like, was it something that they did on their own, or was this something that maybe they took a few ideas from and decided to make their own? So that's just something I'm on the fence on. As far as the cons go, okay, there's a lot of walking. I feel like I walked a pretty long time when I was sightseeing in Washington, D.C. Yes, you can drive around with your car, but since at my hotel, valet parking was like $60, I didn't really want to take my car out and have them keep putting it back. So there's a lot of walking. Be ready for that. Maybe you don't mind that, but to me, it was just a lot of walking, and by the end of it, my feet hurt, and I kind of it felt like they were going to fall off. Not a lot of fast food options, but that was an issue with a lot of the other ballparks like Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland. There were not a lot of fast food options. And as a baseball fan, it gets very expensive to eat at ballparks. So you try to the fast food just kind of helps not make you spend a lot. All these cities had restaurants, and eating at a restaurant constantly, I mean, you're looking at a $20 meal plus you got to add a tip. So that was my big issue. There was no team Hall of Fame, none. I mean, nothing celebrating the Montreal Expos, nothing celebrating the 2019 World Series Nationals. Um, just really nothing. I wrote down here not much of a celebration after a home run. Dylan Cruz hit the home run, and he actually hit it very close to me. I was saying along the left field foul line, and he hit it to left field. But there wasn't much of a celebration of a home run. What's up, Grayson? How are you? I'm just going over the pros and cons of every ballpark that I went to. I'm on Washington right now. I'm on the cons there. The golf carts driving on dirt during a pitching change. I found that rather distracting, and I didn't really like it. I get that the Nationals, that's a thing at Nationals Park, but I found it distracting and not really that great. So, um, and I said this overall to everyone really, with the Nationals, you, if I were getting into baseball for the first time, I would have thought that the Nationals were a minor league team because that's all the ballpark was, a minor league ballpark. Nothing spectacular about it. It seemed like it was a minor league ballpark, not really a great attraction. So I was very disappointed with the stadium overall. Just not really a lot to do there, and really just felt more like I'm going there to see a ball game. But do I know if it's a major league game or a minor league game? You know, so all right, I'm gonna hop into the next game or into I guess what I'm gonna do next. Maybe I should just get some conquest games in so that I can start so I could start I could start making some progress here. Actually, darn it. Um, Thank you for reminding me about that. All right, we could do it now. There was if you look at the channel, if you look at the channel thing, I actually removed it, and and it's not coming back until the fourth inning XP reward path comes along. Do you want me to do it, or do you want to send me the invite? Okay. All right, then I'll send it. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. That's what I meant to do. All right. But what I was trying to say, Grayson, if you've noticed, play against or with me in MLB The Show, I removed that because I was gonna. I was. What I wanted to do was not play against anyone for because that takes like an hour to do a game, and like I have no problem doing it with you because I do remember you saying you and I can do the game when I came back from vacation. I just oh, was this the issue that we were facing? Like I kept inviting you and yet and, oh, okay. Okay, I thought maybe this was the issue between us that prevented us from playing the last time. All right, just sent it to you. But like I was trying to say, I removed it because I really wanted to focus on getting the offline stuff done, and I really didn't want to be taken away from trying to grind the program. But I do recall telling you that we would play our game when I got back from vacation. So we'll do the game, but moving forward for the next week, there will be no games. Okay? No viewer games, no 1v1s, no co-ops. Just moving forward. Because I really want to focus on getting the offline stuff done before. No, I'm not saying I'm frustrated with you, Grayson, but it was good that we did this anyway because I needed to explain this because I know there would be some people that are like, "Well, where's the channel reward?" And I have to explain it. Like, I need to focus on getting to the through the XP reward path, and I can't do that if I'm constantly playing viewers on 1v1. So, I'm not saying that's your fault, Grayson. Like, I agreed to that. I agreed that both of us would do the game when I got back from vacation.
Got it.
I do remember agreeing to that. So,
No balls. 2 strikes.
that's for everyone. And I will put back the 1v1 / co-op
That's a ball.
reward. I will put that back
2-2.
when the fourth inning XP reward path comes out. But for the next week, it's not even going to be an option. Because I have too much to grind with the offline programs that I need to get them done.
No, that's outside. Ball.
I don't want anyone to be upset, but that's what I need to do. And that missed horribly. What the hell, Jim Palmer? So, this is a good time. I could still go.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, Gil Hodges.
Now I could go through the other pros and cons of Pittsburgh and
0-1.
Cleveland, starting with Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, pros. The Western Pennsylvania Sports Museum was amazing. It was right across the street from my hotel. So I figured, why not go in there, see it? I think Pittsburgh has a rich sports history. Not just the Pirates, but the Steelers, the Penguins. It's a rich history. It really is. So I thought it was amazing. Grayson, you know about this already, but I saw Paul Skeens pitching, and I mean, that was my hope throughout the entire trip. Because I saw Pittsburgh play Philadelphia, and I was hopeful that he was going to pitch on that Friday, but unfortunately he did not.
0-2.
So my only hope was that he was going to pitch on the Friday against the Milwaukee Brewers, and he did. And Grayson, you know this. I sent you the picture of the Pirates fan that was wearing Paul Skeens' LSU jersey, which I thought that was very cool. So, he went 6 innings, gave up a run. I think he had like 6 or 7 strikeouts, something like that.
2 strikes.
But he didn't get the win because the Pirates bullpen just blew it for him. So, unfortunate, they did win, but he did not get the win,
For Louisiana,
unfortunately. But I thought it was amazing to watch him pitch. Excuse me.
No balls. 1 strike.
Let's see what else.
1-1.
Lots of great areas to take pictures. To me, Pittsburgh was my favorite stadium to take pictures from. I mean, there was just so many. You had the Roberto Clemente Bridge. You had Roberto Clemente statue outside the ballpark, outside Citi Field, or outside the center field gate. You had that ramp that's in the left field corner. If you go to the top, you could see the entire stadium, and I just definitely a future Hall of Famer. He may. The thing with me is injuries, and also, you know, can he win with this Pirates team, or does he have plans of going somewhere else? I think he would be a future Hall of Famer. Or he would be a no doubt Hall of Famer with me if he wins a lot of games. And right now, I don't know if the Pirates can do that for him. I mean, he's young, and he's got plenty of time. The Pirates are obviously going to use his MLB service time to the max. But if he were to go to another team, and try to win with them, I wouldn't blame him either. In fact, I think that would help him. I would really respect him if he decides to come out and say, I want to be a Pittsburgh Pirate for life. Like, God bless him. But is this a team that can win a World Series? Right now, in my opinion, no. They need to do a lot of building up. They need to do a lot more, because right now, all the Pittsburgh Pirates offense is O'Neal Cruz. All right, he had the 2 home runs that basically helped the Pirates win the game. But if he didn't have those 2 home runs, Pirates are not winning that game. That's just my opinion, but that's how I feel. And it's got to be beyond just... It's got to be more than just O'Neal Cruz. Like, it's got to be Reynolds. It's got to be... I'm trying to think who else could step up for them.
Leading off for New Jersey.
Not Canario. Canario is not... I mean, he did have an RBI in that game, but... I would hate to see him on the Phillies, but it would not surprise me if he goes there. I mean, look at what they did for Zach Wheeler. They turned him into a Cy Young contender
0-2.
after he didn't really stick out with the Mets, and he went to the Phillies. Dang, I can't catch this, or I can't catch up to Roger Clemens here.
Hot one. 0-1.
Jim Bowden was suggesting that the Mets should make an offer for Skeens, and he was suggesting like Jet Williams, Carson Bench, all our top prospects really, and I just looked at that and said no. Okay, look, Paul Skeens is great. Okay, and if he were to be a Met, I mean, that to me would be amazing. But I don't think he would go for it, or I don't think the Mets would go for it. Stearns is more of that guy that wants to develop his own players. He wants to get some of the guys that really haven't been that great. They like a Luis Severino or a Griffin Canning, and he wants to make them into great pitchers. That's what he wants to do. So I don't think he would ever go for someone like Paul Skeens. But I never say never, and if Steve Cohen wants Paul Skeens, Steve Cohen is going to get Paul Skeens. Yep, that's the downside to playing in Polo Grounds. A play like that could lead to a run. So, I don't even know how the Mets are doing. I know they were losing 5-3, and Griffin Canning had one of the worst starts he's had since becoming a Met. But I haven't really followed up on the game since then.
Now batting, number 27.
Yeah, it's now 9-3, middle of the ninth. So the White Sox really got to the Mets. This is bad. I mean, at least they'll win the series, but my God, this is a drubbing that I don't want to see as a Mets fan. Yeah, Frank the Tank is that guy that's on Twitter, and he that's his job. I think that's just what he does. That's what he's paid to do by Barstool. He's supposed to be angry at the Mets. That's his thing. That's why I don't pay attention to him, because I don't like guys like that. I like guys who are upbeat and, we may have lost this game, but hey, we took 2 out of 3 against the White Sox, and we took 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. So, overall, this was a good homestand for the Mets. Now they got to head out west to the Rockies and the Dodgers. So, yeah, I did. Yep, I met him once because his friend, he's a friend of O-Town. If you remember O-Town, he used to come in here a lot. He's also a Mets fan. He's a friend of Frank Fleming. So yeah, I met him. I mean, he looks like a super chill guy. Just Not when he's watching the Mets. Mm-hmm. I even saw him when he gave the command to start engines at Martinsville.
No, that missed.
What was it, last year? Yeah, last year.
2-2.
Because the Mets and the Reds were playing, so I guess Martinsville, Virginia wasn't that far from Cincinnati, Ohio. I mean, we somehow got the Reds broadcast of the game, radio broadcast, while we were in Martinsville. I don't know how to explain that, but we got it. So,
Leading off.
like I said, I'm sure he's a good guy, but in terms of, I just can't stand him as a personality on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. I just can't. And I think that's just what he gets paid to do, so I don't blame him. But at the same time, if you're gonna, I don't like his content. I don't think I'll ever like his content. But that's just me. You know, I like to think that people act one way when they're on camera, but act a different way when the spotlight is off of them. You know, I truly believe that we're different people when we don't have a camera on ourselves. I'm not saying I'm one of those people. Like, the way I am on stream here is exactly who I am in real life. But I'm just saying some people, they change personalities when a camera is shown or shines on them. When a camera is pointed at them. Excuse me. Strike 3, sit out.
Number 99, Aaron Judge.
Just missed it. That's a downside to having Babe Ruth in right field, but I needed Joe Morgan as DH.
Ball.
Hey Grayson, remind me, did I give you back your points, or did I keep them and give you a voucher or a rain check, so to speak? I forget. I forgot if you redeemed it and then I gave you back your points. Okay, I did give it back. Okay. So just remind me, because I'm gonna forget that the next time you redeem it, it'll be for this 1v1 that we're doing right now.
Leading off for the Wolves.
I just don't want to forget about that.
Turner.
Hey, ha! 0-1.
Anyway, let me get another stadium, or continue on with Pittsburgh, because
Direct.
Now batting, the designated
right. So another pro. There were fireworks after the game. I when I was younger, I used to have sensitive hearing, And so I didn't like loud noises like fireworks or thunder. So
No balls. 2 strikes.
now I've kind of appreciated it, although
That's a ball.
there's still some sensitive hearing for me. But as long as it's not like going to blow out my eardrums or anything, then, you know, I can stick around and watch fireworks.
First base.
Fireworks home run celebration. Yeah, if you guys ever played MVP baseball, to the EA Sports MVP baseball franchise, it was basically like that for the Pirates. The fireworks shooting off after the home team won, or after a home team hit a home run. That's basically what it would be like, or what it was like. So I thought that was cool. They also had a walk-off to win that game. I didn't put that down, but I should have.
No balls. 1 strike.
But that's another pro to that game, to that Pittsburgh game. And then finally, I put down here a hook foam finger. Like, it was an actual hook that was a foam finger. And I just thought that was really cool.
Now back,
So,
the center fielder, Carlos.
those are the pros for Pittsburgh. The cons, sketchy characters, don't feel safe. Yeah, I walked into a bad area in Pittsburgh.
Foul ball.
Yes, I did. In fact, well, actually, not at, other than food, not at Pittsburgh or in Philly, because for different reasons, and I'll get to that in a sec. But I do have stuff from Cleveland, Baltimore, and Washington. I just gotta... There we go. So I'll show you right here. So I bought pennants because they were cheaper than... They were like $15 cheaper than a t-shirt, and I don't have to worry about them falling. Spectra Falco, hello. I'm doing all right. How are you? I'm just showing off some things that I got while at this MLB ballpark tour that I did. I just got back from it last night, so awesome. Well, welcome in. So I got this pennant from the Cleveland Guardians. You can see that it has progressive field on there. So that's what I liked about it. That's ultimately what I was going for whenever I when I was buying something. I didn't want anything that said this specific team. I wanted something that said the ballpark. Like you see the pennant here. This says Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And it even has the ballpark. And then I also have this. Hey Grayson, pause the game. Or here. Let me go back in here. No. Darn it. Okay, well, I'm going to have to show this off when I have time. Darn it, Grayson. I was really hoping you would have paused the game. Because then the countdown wouldn't have... the countdown wouldn't... There. Okay, so let's pause there. Give me a minute. And then this is what I got at Nationals Park. So you see it has the Nationals Stadium, their Nationals Park. That's ultimately what I was looking for from this MLB ballpark tour. Okay, we're good now, Grayson. So that's what I got at the stadiums. And I was actually going to hang them up here on my door. I was going to get like one of those stick-on hooks, plastic hooks, and then just hang them by the little thing here. You see how it has the... Did I get a hat? No, I didn't want anything that was specific to the team. I just wanted something that said the stadium that they played in. The only two that I didn't get was from Philly and Pittsburgh, and that was for two different reasons.
Now batting,
So
number
the reason for
27.
Philly, they
Runner, yes.
for Philly, I was looking for the wrong item. You know, I was looking for a t-shirt, and if I had just been looking for a pennant, I probably could have gotten that at the ballpark. So I'm going to order that online. And then since I'm talking about the cons now for Pittsburgh, food service at PNC Park absolutely sucks. Okay, I put in an order for a cheeseburger and french fries, and you're kidding. And it took me over 30 minutes. And eventually the only reason I got it was because I went up to them, to the workers, and I said, "Hey, I've been waiting over a half hour for this." And then they went over and they got the cheeseburger and french fries in like 1 minute. And I'm wondering, why did it take me 30 minutes? Why was I waiting 30 minutes for my number to show up on the little thing when this could have been handled in 1 minute? So ultimately, that pissed me off to the point where I actually forgot to buy a pennant at PNC Park. But like I said, I'm just going to go online and I'm just going to buy the 2 pennants, and then that way I'll have the 5. But yeah, Pittsburgh,
0 balls, 1 strike.
Pittsburgh I just didn't feel safe in. Or at least since I walked into a bad area and just didn't feel safe. So, and actually just to further that point, when I went to a convenience store and they were arresting a guy. They had a guy in handcuffs.
Number 3,
It's like, that really doesn't make me feel safe. I mean, I'm glad they got the guy, yeah. But,
0-1.
you know, now I had to worry. I don't know what he did. Was he selling drugs outside the store? Did he try to hold up the convenience store? I don't think so, because he would have had a mask on and he didn't. So I don't know what he was being arrested for, but it was sketchy and it just didn't make me feel safe. So Pittsburgh I didn't feel safe in at all. Now, unless I was walking with other Pittsburgh fans. It was very cold. It was too cool. Okay? And for May. Yeah, there was a nor'easter that was bringing temperatures across the northeastern U.S. down by like 10, 15, even 20 degrees below average. But still, that's ridiculous. It's way too cold. It's way too cool. I had to wear pants at the stadium because I knew it was going to be cool when I got back to the hotel at night. So, you know, that overall, the food service one, that's the one that was like the big negative for me, because that's ridiculous that I had to wait 30 minutes and only left me 10 minutes before first pitch. So I nearly missed Paul Skeen's pitching. Or first inning of pitching at PNC Park. I nearly missed it because they were slow with my meal. Who got arrested? Some guy outside a convenience store in Pittsburgh that I saw. I think I just walked into a bad area of Pittsburgh. So, I don't know what he got arrested for, but they had multiple cops on him. And I just didn't feel safe. And to me, that's the biggest thing when I go. I want to feel safe. And if I don't feel comfortable then that's going to be that's going to negatively affect
One ball, no
my
strike.
experience. I mean, food is also going to negatively affect my experience as well.
He's safe.
And that was a big negative for me. But also seeing someone getting arrested and seeing sketchy characters, and not feeling safe, that was also a huge concern for me. Let's see. And then I'll come to Cleveland now. Okay, so I put down here the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I did go visit that. That was really cool. I waited over 30 minutes for my food. I waited over 30 minutes. And that's bad. Like, I would get it if I had, like, a big order, but this was a cheeseburger and french fries that I was waiting on. And they literally handled it once I gave them the receipt. They handled it in, like, 1 minute.
Now batting, the second baseman.
That's why I like what the Orioles and the Cleveland Guardians did, which was grab and go. Just grab whatever food you wanted and pay at the machine. And there we go.
0-2.
Chicago beat New York 9-4. Wasn't very good. Another one, the Pro Football. Yes. Yes, same guy. Yep.
Third baseman.
He's a viewer that 2 weeks before I went on vacation, he redeemed a channel reward that I've taken off. I've taken out to kind of give me a week to catch up since I was on vacation for the last 2 weeks. But before I went on vacation, he redeemed the play with or against me in MLB The Show 25. And he wanted a 1v1. So this is me giving him the making good on my promise to play against him. Although you could tell that I am absolutely horrible right now. I can't catch up to Roger Clemens. And Carlos Beltran is just raking against me. He's got, I think, 2 triples. Maybe he has an inside the park home run and a triple, but that's what I get for playing at Polo Grounds. But I chose the stadium. Like, I'm the home team, so I chose to play here, and usually because I've had good success here. This time next month, you'll be relaxing on a beach in Florida. Hopefully the weather's good. You know how Florida weather can be. It could be really, it could change on a dime. So I hope it's good weather. But enjoy your vacation to Florida.
0 balls, 1 strike.
I've been to Daytona Beach, and it is a beautiful, beautiful beach. Daytona Beach is absolutely beautiful. So, Florida beaches are great. And I'm not much of a beach guy. I mean, I live in New Jersey, so, and I don't like going down to the shore. But yeah, I'm really talking up the beaches in Florida. It's always nice in the morning, cloudy in the afternoon. Yeah. You got to watch out because those clouds could turn into rain. And that rain could turn into a hurricane. Treasure Island. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, he caught it! Wow! Holy cow. I'm sorry, Grayson, but I need to replay that. That's crazy. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, Grayson. That may be my only highlight in the game. So, I apologize. That wasn't me trying to show off. That was just me trying to see it again because I... Well, that... you know what? That timing... This whole new timing system in MLB The Show made it so much easier. Otherwise, I would have mistimed that and you would have had a home run.
Leading off for New Jersey, the shortstop, Ray.
You actually don't mind the rain? I do, because it's... I mean... I'm a NASCAR guy, so that's why I've been down to Daytona Beach. And the rain has just delayed the Daytona 500 for me. So I don't like the rain down in Florida. It can go to hell.
Hee-haw! 0-1.
Yes. Yes, Spectra. Been a Mets fan all my life. I grew up in a family of Mets fans. That's Mike Piazza in my... That's a cardboard cutout of Mike Piazza over my left shoulder here. So, he's my favorite all-time player, Mike Piazza. I was lucky enough to see him towards the end of his career, but man, oh man, was that a time.
No balls, one strike.
What a time to be a Mets fan with Mike Piazza. Who are you a fan of? Or what's your favorite team,
No
Spectra?
balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, okay. Alright, then I'll save my question for when you're out of that ad.
He's out.
Leading off for Louisiana, the right fielder.
Alright, let me get Jim Palmer out of it.
Judge.
No point in having him in anymore.
Now pitching, Michael Goltek.
Oh,
Now batting, shortstop, Javier Baez.
Just let me know when you guys are back.
oh yeah. It's 0-1.
Alright, so Spectra, what I was asking you, strike 3, sit down, was, who's your favorite team? I think you are throwing a... Well, let's see. Has anyone even gotten on base for me? Oh, San Francisco. Do you live out in San Francisco, or... Yeah, this is a perfect game. Oh, wait. Any hit by pitches? Oh, you're from Sweden. Oh. Nice. Wow, Aaron Ashaw. How about that? I actually had a viewer. He hasn't been in a long time, but he was from France. So that was pretty cool. What's it like living in Sweden? Is it always cold, or do you guys actually have pretty nice weather there? You have warm weather, right? Because we're in the spring/summer months.
0-1.
But like for
0-2.
oh yeah, I much imagine it is. I'm from New Jersey, so we tend to get pretty cold weather here as well. I mean, we haven't had that much. It was actually more of a rainy kind of winter for us. It was something like what you would expect from in Seattle.
The catcher, Cal
But
Raleigh.
yeah, when I think of Sweden, I think of like the snowy mountains and skiing.
0 balls,
Live
1
in the
strike.
south now. You were raised in northern Sweden,
Take.
so it's like the.
No balls. Hit.
There you go. You got a perfect game going.
The right
I need to
fielder,
break that up.
number 3, Babe Ruth.
I can't be perfect gamed up on my own
Inside,
stream.
That's a ball.
That would be so embarrassing.
Hee-haw. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I tell you what, Mother Nature was very kind to me on this MLB ballpark because I was able to see games without having to worry about
1 and 2's
rain.
the count.
And that was my biggest concern going on this MLB ballpark tour, was that I was somehow not going to be able to see a game because of weather.
The center fielder, number 3, Jackson Merrill.
Ball.
Where I went.
1-0.
No. Actually, yes, I was. In fact, I have the hat right here. It's my, hold on. Grayson is going to pitch me a fastball. It's my
1 and 2.
U.S. baseball hat. I just felt like that was the most neutral hat that I could wear at any of these ballparks. So, because it's, you know, I didn't want to wear anything that would,
Leading off
that
for the
would,
Eagles,
you know,
the
make
center
me,
baseman, Jake Cronenworth.
I was afraid of being like hassled as a Mets fan for being at a game that didn't really have any Mets play, or the ballpark. None of the games that I went to featured the
batter,
Mets.
The center fielder, Carlos.
They were all just, I want to go to these stadiums because I want to go check them out. That's really what the whole purpose of this trip was. So I was afraid of being hassled as a Mets fan. Like, why are you here? Mets are not even in town. What are you doing? That kind of stuff. I was especially careful not to make it known that I was a Mets fan in Philadelphia. They do not like Mets fans. So I was very careful not to out myself as a Mets fan while in Philadelphia. But Baltimore, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland, they didn't care.
Number 27.
In fact, I saw a Houston Astros fan at the park at the Nationals. That's it. And that exactly is why I didn't wear any Mets stuff to the Phillies game. That hat was, that U.S. baseball hat, that was it.
For New Jersey, the left fielder,
Josh Block?
Ryan
Who's Josh Block?
Braun.
Hee-ha. 0-1.
What up, Dodger? How are you? Oh, I'm not on TikTok, so that's why I'm not familiar with
Now
Block.
batting, the second baseman,
I didn't even know that, so.
Edman.
And we have the perfect game broken up in the 9th inning. Thank goodness. That's about my only highlight other than the home run ball or the catch at the wall that I made to rob a home run.
No balls,
So,
one strike.
The batter number 7, shortstop, Ray Turner.
it was great, Dodger. Loved it.
No, that's a foul
If
ball.
only if I could have made that a little bit further to the left. Then we'd be talking about a real ball game here. But at least I'm not being shut out.
Now back, the designated hitter, Joe Morgan.
Ha! It's 0-1.
Yeah, I was just going over some of the pros. I've been going over the pros and cons of each city and stadium that I visited, Dodger. So I was just on Cleveland. That's the last city that I was a part of, or that I was at. I think I stopped with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know, I loved the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I thought it was great, especially the exhibit for John Bon Jovi. Which, oh, this is a Syracuse shirt. This is when they went to the Final Four in 2013 for basketball. I visited Syracuse in 2013. So it was like a college tour kind of thing because I was considering Syracuse University, but it was still expensive and they didn't want to put me in the communications program. So I said, to hell with you guys, I'm going somewhere else. But I brought this shirt back. So that's all it is. Just Syracuse Final Four from 2013. I think that was the last time they made the. I think that was the last time they made the Final Four. I could be wrong, but all right. In all seriousness, I need to get a home run. I've not had a home run, and I played 2 games already. So only thing I can think to do is go play at Coors Field. It's probably the best shot I have at getting a home run. So I also put down here Pro Football Hall of Fame an hour south. Yep. So I like that there was the Pro Football Hall of Fame an hour south of Cleveland, and then there was also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was like a 5-minute walk from my hotel. So that was nice. I enjoyed that. Both Hall of Fames were really good. I mean, Washington, D.C., in my opinion, was the best in terms of sightseeing, but Cleveland was second on that because that was really great. There we go. I finally got a home run. Finally. Jersey giveaway. That's the other thing here. Where did I put that? Where did I put that jersey? Oh, that's right. Hold on. Hold on one second, because I'll get the jersey to show you guys. Hang on. Gotta pause this. Whoop. Come on. Get off my shoe. Alright, where is it? It should be right here. Ah, there it is. So, this is the... Oh, hold on. This is the Cleveland Guardians jersey that I got at the game. It was just 3 relievers they did. They did Gaddis, Heron, and Smith, I want to say. So I got Heron's jersey. Unfortunately, it's an extra large, so I can't button this up. I can't I can't put it on other than just like have it wear it open, but still it was nice to get that at the stadium. And then I also have here, and I mentioned this before, grab and go for food. I enjoyed that. Beautiful ballpark. It really is a great ballpark. Really is. The only thing that I regret is that at the beginning, I wanted to go check out the team Hall of Fame or the area where they honor the legends of their teams, like Jim Thome, Larry Doby, Bob Feller. And they had statues outside the stadium, but I was looking more for like inside the stadium. And I discovered that at the end of the game, so I took some pictures of it, and it was pretty cool. And then I also wrote down here, good choice on guys singing National Anthem and God Bless America, for Memorial Day. And he really had that opera singer voice. Not like the woman, I'm talking the man. Like the male singer. When he does it, he did it perfectly. So I really enjoyed him singing the National Anthem and God Bless America. So those were the pros of Cleveland, and I'll get to the cons here in a second. Strike 3, sit out. Too many damn bugs. I don't know what they call them in Cleveland, but there are so many bugs that are flying around. Maybe you've seen the highlights of these bugs like flying around the lights and everything. They're basically a pest. They're harmless, but they're pests. And I saw them on windows. I saw them flying around Cleveland. They were disgusting. I saw restaurant windows nearly completely covered in these bugs. It's like disgusting to me. So that was a big negative to me. Restaurants closed around noon. I mean, yeah, it was disgusting, Spectra. I mean, I don't think all the bug repellent in the world could possibly get rid of those bugs from Cleveland. It was disgusting. The restaurants were closed around noon, and I was frustrated by that because it was like it may have been because of Memorial Day, but still, like, I'm a customer that was willing to pay for food, and yet these restaurants were closed. And I'm like, why? So,
leading off for New Jersey.
Also, no drink holders at Progressive Field. Like, they would have ballparks normally have an area where you could put your drink, whether that be a beer or a soda or a water or whatever, that you could put in like a little holder so that you can place it there, keep it safe, not have it spill over if someone's trying to walk past you. Cleveland did not have that. And, to me, it's like, if you don't have that, so basically I have to hold on to my drink and pick it up every time someone walks by me, because if they knock it over, I lose that drink. So that was a big thing for me.
1-0.
I also wrote down here, missed out on Team Hall of Fame and Center, but I got that after the game. Just didn't really get to see it all that much, but still, that was something that I could have done at the beginning of the game if I had actually given the time. The other thing that I didn't put down here, but I think is important enough, they had the kids area on the second level. And I'm sorry, but if I had field level tickets,
Now batting.
I'm not going up to the second area for if I have a niece or a nephew or a son or a daughter that wants to go up there. I don't like. Sorry. Doing so much talking. I need like a sip of drink to help me out. Make my voice not sound as dry, you know? Strike 3, sit down. Okay. Yeah, just the kids area being on the second level just didn't sit well with me. I mean, if I have field level tickets, it just seems like it's an inconvenience if I want to bring my niece or nephew.
One ball.
Like, I would have hoped that that kids area would have been on the field level.
2-2 to count.
And what if I had... Well, no, actually, I had nosebleed section tickets, but... I just feel like it's bad placement to put the kids area on the second level. It should be field level, in my opinion. But obviously the Guardians have made their choice on that. So I know at City Field it's behind the scoreboard in center field. Like that's basically the area, and it's not a lot. Like the Guardians had a lot, as did in fact, I'll say this: all the ballparks had better area for the kids than the Mets do. The Mets, all they have is that field.
I got a ball, 1 strike.
That field where kids can do t-ball or whatever. That's all they have. So all the other organizations, all the other ballparks had way better kids areas. They had jungle gyms. They had little bobbleheads of the mascots in the areas. Like, it was just better all around. So I hope the Mets take notice. Yeah, exactly. And to me, that's important as a baseball fan, because if I want to bring my niece, nephew, son, or daughter with me to games and they're little kids, like I'm going to bring them as kids, then they need to have an area where they can go hang out. Yeah, I actually have a niece, so, and I plan on taking her to ball games, but I want her to have fun. And to me, like, the Mets need to do more. Not just the T-ball, like have a jungle gym or something. Like, you know, they do the meet and greet with Mr. and Mrs. Met, but now you have to pay extra for that, which I find that rather inconvenient. Or, well, that's a money grab right there. I get why the Coens would do something like that, but at the same time... But the other flip side of the coin to that is the Mets do have a kids club there, and they also let kids run the bases for free after games on Sundays, or they used to anyway. I don't know if they still do it or not. I haven't been to a Sunday game in a while, but strike 3, sit down. But that's part of... But what? Now you're telling me I can only bring my kids to a Sunday game? What if they want to come during a weekday game? I took that out, Dodger. That's not coming back until next week. I need to catch up on the last 2 weeks, and I can't be distracted by everyone wanting to play me after I just got back from vacation. So I need to catch up. I hope you understand. Why, do I sound a little uptight? Oh, you're saying like, oh, no. Well, here's the thing, Spectra. Okay, I missed 2 weeks.
Hey! 0-1's the count.
The Met series was fun to watch. Yeah. I'm just glad we took those 2 games. We needed that. We needed those 2 games against the Dodgers because I don't think we're going to fare very well when we visit LA next week. So getting those 2 wins at home were important. We should have gotten that first game. I can't believe the offense did that. It kind of felt like a test to me as like the Dodgers were just testing the Mets to see if they had actually gotten better or if it was all for show. And I think the Mets failed in the first game because they should have walked it off multiple times. And the fact that they didn't, right, but the thing is, we would have to attack early. Or we would have to remain in a game long enough for us to be able to get to your bullpen. And then we can go from there.
Now pitching for the Rockies.
But if we're already out of it, like the way that you guys played the NLCS last year, you guys had us out of it by the 3rd or 4th inning. So if you guys do that to us, there's no way we're getting to your bullpen. Thus, there's no way we're beating you guys.
No, that's foul.
Well, I know, but like I said, we need to get to your bullpen. And if we don't attack you guys early, or if you attack us early and we can't stay in the game, there's no way we're getting to that bullpen. It's like what you guys did against the Cleveland Guardians. You know, Shohei Ohtani didn't even waste a single minute. He had that home run off of Gavin Smith, first pitch on Monday. I know because I was there. So I saw it. You guys attack early, and that's the way it should be done.
No balls, 2 strikes. Foul ball.
That's why I'm saying, like, if the Mets are not in it by the time we get to your bullpen, strike 3, sit down. If we don't get to your bullpen and we're not in it, we're screwed.
0-1.
Now batting, Catcher, Hunter.
So,
Goodman.
but your bullpen held out long enough in that game on Friday that or you held out long enough that you guys were able to win. So your bullpen can be good, but it can also be very bad.
That's an out.
But I guess that's the way with every MLB team. Bullpens can be good, but they can also be very bad. Why would I chase a pitch like that?
Out.
What the Mets need to learn to do is to win away from home. We know they can win at home. That's not what the issue is. The issue is they can't win on the road. You know, they lost 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Red Sox. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Minnesota Twins.
Ball.
So this is a team that needs to learn to win on the road. Otherwise, they're not winning too many games.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 3.
Strike 3, sit down.
Aye.
Strike 3, sit down.
No, foul ball.
What I'm really looking for here is those home runs. I need those home runs. Strike 3, sit down. And I've gotten a few already, but I need to get more.
You're out.
But see, my theory is that they nerfed home runs in MLB The Show this year. They really nerfed them. No, I'm not testing Brenton Doyle's arm.
The batter, number 7. Shortstop, Trey Turner.
Pretty sure Trey Turner has a home run.
Hey.
Not like that, not swinging like that.
Time. That got him.
He's
First
not
base.
getting a home run by getting hit like that. At least it'll be a sac fly.
Aye. All one's the count.
Come on, Pete. Oh, I'm gonna get a 2 RBI double. What's up, Peach? How are ya?
Now pitching for the Rockies, number 0.
The Mets really need to beat up on the Rockies. My vacation was good. Thank you for asking. It was fun. All around, it was great. I kind of went over the pros and... No, I know I did. I know I did. That's why I'm trying to make it up. Make it up now. But I got a long road ahead of me.
Hey! Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
So tonight I'm still on vacation because I took tonight off because I thought I was going to a Mets game tonight. That was at 7, but they moved it up to 1, and I had a chiropractor's appointment, so I ended up not going to that game. But tomorrow I'm back to work, or tomorrow night I'm back to work, and then I go on vacation next week again. But this time it's only for a week, so... Yep. Back to work, back to work. We'll see if my dad wants to or not, because it's a vacation with him. We're going to to the Michigan International Speedway in Michigan. And I suggested to him that we could go to the Tigers game since we're only going to be 45 minutes from Detroit.
That's a ball.
He said it was a possibility, which is more than what I've ever gotten. Well, no, that's more than I've gotten when I previously suggested going to a ballpark that didn't involve the Mets. So we'll see. If I do go to Comerica Park, I'll come back with a pennant. That's weird. I thought I heard a phone ringing. Attaboy Jackson.
Ball that's outside.
Now batting, the second baseman, Tommy Edman.
Ball one.
We'll see what happens. I will say, though, you like the Color Storm players? Yeah, I was looking at them, but I wasn't really going to grind for them yet because I wanted to do Moonshot plus... I wanted to do everything,
He's safe.
I wanted to do the rivalry weekend and the Moonshot programs. I wanted to do the May Spotlight programs.
Ball one, no strikes.
No, I haven't. In fact, I just hit my first home run in this game. It took me close to 2 hours to hit my first home run of the stream. And now, thankfully, Trey Turner is going to give me another one.
Now pitching for the Rockies, number 54.
So I am literally just starting with Moonshot. but I'm gonna do a lot of grinding off stream. I'm gonna do the mini seasons and the diamond quests off stream so that I don't have any problems, getting.
He's out.
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, the Chicago White Sox, I barely beat them on rookie, 2-0. So I need to get back into the groove. Back in the New York groove.
He saves.
Now batting, the catcher, Cal Raleigh.
Aye. All one's the count.
Dang, poor Cal Riley. Ever since he went diamond, I have not hit well with him. You pulled Tatis? Nice. Yeah, I'm still missing Tatis, Lindor, Soto,
Aye.
Otani.
0-1.
I think I'm missing Mookie as well. Maybe I know I have Freddie.
Aye.
Who was my biggest pull this year?
3.
Now
Trying to
batting,
think.
catcher, Hunter.
Who was my biggest pull?
Goodman.
Ellie, I guess? Oh,
That's a
Paul.
ball.
Paul was a pretty good pull for me. I got him early on. Yeah, me as well. Honestly, I'm not in any rush. I'm not in any rush to get
Aye. 2.
Carlos Beltran. I would love to have him,
1 ball.
but
2
I'm not
strikes.
in a rush.
Ball, that's outside.
I mean, I highly recommend doing the Diamond Quests because you could get packs from those. You could get Ball in His Habit packs. You could get show packs. That's what I would recommend. Yeah, I'm still missing Judge. Still missing him. Scooble.
Ball 1.
Don't have Scooble.
1-0.
Don't have Jose Ramirez. Don't have Ketel Marte. There's a lot of guys that I'm missing. But I'm not really in a rush to get them.
Outside.
Like I said, I'd rather earn them. No, that's a smart way to do it. I also recommend doing Diamond Quest because you get those Ball in His Habits, and that's a 1 in 15 chance. So those are your best. Those are the best odds, other than the headliners, which is a 1 in 10. That was weak.
Oh. He's out.
Yeah, might as well.
Off the plate, ball one.
I mean, I personally like to take my time with the conquest maps, but because what I like to do is go. I like to gain all the territories before I attack the strongholds. That way, I have a lot of fans built up, and I can go when I attack the strongholds. I'm playing on veteran or rookie.
Hey! 0-1's the count. Hey! No balls, 2 strikes.
Strike three, sit down. Keep going, Musina.
Hey! 0-1. Hey! 0-2.
Strike three, sit down. I think some of the conquest maps, if they don't have to do with a program, like I'll just do them off stream. Like for example, the Boston City Connect conquest that I'll do off stream, but the rivalry weekend conquest map, that one I'll do on stream if I decide to dedicate myself to the rivalry weekend.
No balls, 2 strikes.
So I'll let you guys know what I've done. Because I'm going to be grinding a lot off stream as much as I'm grinding
Now
on
batting,
stream.
the shortstop,
I got to get this
Trey
XP somehow.
Turner.
All right, here we go. Come on, Musina. Let's get 3 outs. Complete game shutout. And then we move on.
Hey!
Strike three, sit down. Usually averages 17, strikeouts per stat. Excuse me, now I got the hiccups.
No balls, 2 strikes.
That's what I get for drinking Powerade Zero.
Hey!
Strike three, sit down.
Hey! 0-1's the count.
Strike three, sit down. Attaboy Musina. $18 strikeouts. Nice. That'll bump his average of strikeouts per game up. Not by much, but by a tiny bit. And I know I'm going to have quite a few moonshot guys. Like I have Josh Hader, Corey Kluber, Tanner Scott, Cliff Lee, and Yohan Duran. Oh boy. Ain't that something? Usually the headliners have the best odds. Okay, so clearly the touchpad on my thing is broken. So I gotta learn how to turn this off. Let's see what I get in the show packs. Again, all these guys will have to be sold at a later point. You pulled Acuna? Yeah, that's the other one I'm missing too. I'm missing Acuna. Let's see. Judge, I'm missing him. Missing Jose Ramirez. Missing Juan Soto and Francisco Lindor. Although Soto has come down in price, which I'm happy to see that. I'm glad that he's coming down. There's a new one. Good to see Marte is coming down slightly. It's still missing Ohtani, who's outrageous right now, and Tyler Glasnow. I actually do have Mookie. I didn't think I had him, but I did have him. And I'm missing Tatis. Okay, so I'm not missing as much as I initially thought I was missing. I'm just missing the big ones. But if I complete the Yankees, then I get the AL East done. Trout was also another big pull for me. Oh no, I bought Acuna. Because he was cheap. Acuna was cheap. But you say there's a new Acuna? What's this new Acuna one? Let's see. Whoops. Oh, it's the Chase one. It's from the Chase pack. Got it. It's really only 52,000? Wow, that's cheap. Let me see. What can I do now? Because I can't really do much. I guess I could do like some of the color storms. Yeah, so there was the home run. Gotta get I've gotten hits with, it's gotta be Moonshot. Sneaky good cards. Okay. Yeah, those are from the packs. Right. Only getting 5 of them is not really going to get me far. I just got all the pictures. That's all I did. It's not like there are any moments for me to do, so can't really do anything about that. I guess I could do some of the moments for the rivalry weekend. Just try to get to Hunter Brown. Let's see. Battling as Soto, tally 2 hits. Okay. Yeah. Ain't that the sad truth? I don't know what it is that's going on with him.
He's up.
I really don't.
No, he's safe.
Although, to be fair, yesterday, he should have had a couple hits.
Ball one, no
But,
strikes.
you know, baseball was weird. Well, there we go. I got one hit with him. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to be this home run hitter that he doesn't need to be. Well, I mean, we do have Alonso, so I don't know. Either way, it seems like he's pressing a lot more than he should, and I hope he does figure it out. Maybe he's just nervous, you know? After all, like, people were pointing this out. Carlos Beltran had a slow start when he first joined the Mets. Um, Lindor had a slow start with the Mets as well. So it's just a slow start, and I'm sure Soto's way too good to have him. Soto is way too good to have him or keep him down forever. I mean, maybe he'll figure it out, maybe he won't. But you got to give time. It's like everyone's expectations is they got to produce almost immediately if they're going to get big contracts. And I understand that thought process, but it takes shouldn't there be an adjustment period? Even Mike Piazza struggled when he first got to the Mets. I mean, he turned it around eventually, but the first month or so that he was on the Mets, he struggled. And Mets fans were booing him because they expected him to be this power hitter, this guy that was just going to hit home runs, and it's like we got to give them a chance to be able to adjust. I mean, I'm sorry that not everyone can be like Shohei Ohtani, who just wins an MVP his first year with the Dodgers and a World Series.
No balls, two strikes. Ball.
There we go. That's a home run, too. Nice. You're welcome, Michael Bush. Made you look good. Oh, God, but now I have Nico Herner. Well, he is a contact guy, and he has speed. So maybe I can get an infield hit. As long as I can make a smart hit. See? Like that. Or I just got lucky with that. I inside-outed it. So I'm just going to do some of the moments for rivalry weekend and and try to get as much XP as possible. I mean, I don't even have to do all the moments. I could just get to the show pack here and then just do the conquest map and I'll be done with this. The Blue Jays and Tigers have a rivalry? Some of these matchups were strange. Was it like a Lake Erie
Out.
kind of rivalry, or what? Or some kind of Lake Michigan, or I'm trying to understand what's the significance of the Tigers Blue Jays rivalry.
Hey. Ball. Down.
Yeah, MLB just didn't do a very good job with this. To me, honestly, this just seemed like it was all about interleague rivalries. And, like, that's fine, but don't advertise it as rivalry weekend. Because when I think of rivalries, I think of Yankees, Red Sox. I think of, Mets, Phillies, Dodgers, Giants. I don't think of... I mean, the Mets and Yankees, they have a good rivalry, but you're telling me the Dodgers have a big rivalry with the Angels? Or is that just because of proximity? I mean, they might have more of a rivalry now because the Dodgers took Ohtani away, but by the way, strike 3, sit down there. But I mean, I really don't. I don't see it more significant as, Dodgers Giants. Like, I've seen people get beat up at Dodgers Giants games.
That's outside.
No, I totally. You could call it whatever you like. They took him. They lured him away from the Angels. I don't think he was ever going to stay with the Angels, but at the same time, that was a pretty big piece for the Angels to have Ohtani. So you could call it whatever you like. But either way, he was an Angel, now he's a Dodger. So that might add significance to the rivalry. Strike 3, sit down, but I'd still say a bigger rivalry is Dodgers-Giants. Not Dodgers-Angels. All right, I'm going to get started on the the rivalry weekend conquest map here. And also, like, Red Sox or White Sox and Cubs, I get that. That's Chicago. But, like, I see bigger rivals for the Cubs. Like the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are a bigger rival for the Cubs than the White Sox are. So I think this wasn't as advertised as well as it could have been. That's all I'm saying. There we go. Now I could play on veteran against the White Sox. That's ultimately what I was looking for. Mm. There we go. Nice. Home run by Trey Turner. Ooh, I thought for a minute there the game was going to freeze on me. Nice. And a home run for Joe Morgan, too. Awesome.
Batting fourth, the catcher, Cal Raleigh. Now pitching for the White Sox.
He already, three batters in, they went right to their bullpen.
Gilbert.
What are you going to do? I don't feel bad for the CPU at all. They made me go they only allowed me to score 2 runs against the White Sox in the first game that I played. So any beatdown that I can put here, you can bet your butt off I'm going to do it. Even if it means that I don't get a save opportunity with the bullpen. That doesn't bother me. Nice, Jackson Merrill. That's lefty on lefty crime right there that Merrill just committed.
Ball, that's out. Ball, that's off the plate.
Ah, darn it.
Got him.
Get a 3-0 count, and that's what I do. I will say that the next big trip that I'm thinking about is even further west than what I went with Pittsburgh and Cleveland. I'm thinking start in Cincinnati, then drive out to Chicago, and then go up to Milwaukee, and then out to Minnesota. I'm going on another vacation next week, yeah, but this is to Michigan for the NASCAR races. This is something for me and my dad. Oh, Tommy. Tommy.
Batting third, the second baseman, Lenny Sosa.
Sorry.
Hey! Hey! No balls, 2 strikes.
Strike 3, sit down. Also could have just thrown in a bunch of the common pitchers from the Moonshot program. Could have thrown them in here and, just let them gain some XP. Even if they don't get a lot of it, at least they're going to get some XP.
Jordan.
Should have thought about that.
Leisure.
Oh well.
He's out.
I was borderline, but I wasn't going to swing at it. Nice. I'll take a double with Joe Morgan.
The batter, the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
Runner.
Ooh, he may have gotten a good jump. Oh, he's lucky. He is lucky.
Two balls, no strikes.
Too slow, Pete.
Hey. Hey. 0-2. Off the plate, ball one. Foul ball.
They're going to make Musina... They're going to make him pitch for... or get this...
Two balls, two strikes.
get through this inning. But I'm committed. Strike three, sit down. It's a 5-0 game. The only time I'm going to bring in the bullpen is if it becomes a save opportunity.
0-1.
So, Musina is not going in.
I got a ball, one strike. Hey, 2.
Although this might be the only game that I do tonight. Because I have, I'm getting close to 6 o'clock here.
He's out.
Now pitching for the White Sox, number 55, Ranger Ellers.
Outside, that's a ball. Two and 0. Hey! 2 balls, 1 strike.
I got the pitch, the cutter high. Oh no, it's gone. Nice. Good, because I needed some home runs with switch hitters.
Hey!
And Cal Riley also doesn't run very well. So him having not great of speed, all the better. Nice, Babe Ruth.
Counts 1-0.
I mean, the thing is, I should be trying to get home runs with the righties, because when I do the mini seasons, I'm only going to have lefties and switch hitters. You know, I'm not going to have any righties.
Now pitching
So, if anything, I should be hitting home runs with Braun, with Alonso, with Turner. That's who I should be hitting home runs with.
I got 1 ball, 1 strike.
Obviously, I'm not hitting a home run there. There's also Bregman, too. Never mind, we're not even going to get to Bregman. All right, Musino, let's finish this out.
Ah! 0-1. Three.
Strike 3, sit down.
Yeah. 0-1's the count. Ball 1.
Oh, yeah. Yep, I've gotten a number of those. This is what I do. Do you have an iPhone or an Android? Because I can show you how you can prevent those fake toll scams from
Ball 2.
popping up on your phone.
2-2 the count.
iPhone? Okay. So give me 1 second here. Let me finish this game, and then I'll show you how to block them so that they don't bother you. I'm surprised they didn't try to go. I mean, I'll take it because that means that now it has to be a real base hit. Now it has to be like a gapper to pretty much score that runner. Strike 3, sit down. All right, great job, Musina. Okay, so okay, so all right. Hang on 1 second. Let me get back to the main screen, and then I'll show you how you can block them, Peach, because it's actually really simple. I've been doing this, and they've hardly ever bothered me. Okay, so let's just say that this person here was sending me the fake text. Obviously, they're not, but just for the sake of argument, let's say that they were. So what I would do is on the top, at the top, they have their little contact thing. You go to info here at the far end of your screen here. Okay. And then you're going to go down. When you get to this screen here, I know you can't see it, but you get to that screen, and then you're going to go down. You're going to scroll up, and at the bottom of the thing, it's going to have a block collar. You're going to hit that, and then you're going to back out to your text, and you can swipe left on the thing to hit delete, and then it'll ask you, do you just want to delete, or do you also want to delete and report junk? I recommend reporting it as junk as well as deleting it, because then that way they'll block the number from reaching out, or they'll block the person from reaching out again through a different number. The Angels there have too many territories. And I need to fix that. Yeah, I figured that the Yankees would try to go for that. But this is a good way for me to be able to build up my territories so that when I do attack the stronghold of these teams, then I can do it without any disturbance. Or I can do it on veteran or rookie. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, it usually pops up as an email, right? Hold on, I gotta make sure I know what I'm doing here. Good. Okay, it should be good now. So what we're gonna do... Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Yep, that would put me on veteran, but I don't have time to be able to play the game. So I'm going to leave it for there. I'm going to leave it there. And the last thing I'll do, go over here to Color Storm, and I'll just play the little moment, try to get Mark Vientos, or get started on Mark Vientos. And then that'll be the last thing that I do. But I gotta hit a home run with him. Swaggy V.
Leading up for the Mets, the third baseman, Mark Vientos.
Let's go. Home run. Didn't even take that long. Literally just took 2 pitches. Ha. And I got a show pack out of it. Nice. But now if I want to get any more progress, I have to do the missions here. Strikeouts, total bases, innings pitched with Jolt Franco, and then parallel XP with both Mets hitters and pitchers. Okay, well, that's good to know. Oh, it's 5 show packs. Nice. Let's see if I can pull Diamond before I sign off here. Probably won't, but give it the old college try. Okay. Next pack. Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely sell that. See, I want to list him, but my thing is stuck. I'll figure it out. All right, last show pack, and then I'm signing. Darn, nothing. Alrighty, guys, so that's going to do it for me. So thank you to everyone who tuned in. Even if it was only for a moment, I greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to follow me here on Twitch and or subscribe. Either one would make me a happy person. If you're watching this on YouTube, I thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you liked the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to know when I go live, you can follow me on X at TTVNextJGGen24. It's my gamer tag that's on the left side of your screen there. So go give me a follow. I'll usually post whenever I go live. You can also turn on notifications here on Twitch. That way Twitch sends you an email every time I start up a stream. So overall, this was good. We got back into the swing of things, no pun intended. There's obviously still a lot for me to do, so I'm gonna try and grind some stuff off stream so that I can get some of the stuff and get going. But we will save the rivalry weekend map for tomorrow. That way we can wrap up rivalry weekend program. So I hope to see you all tomorrow, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And until then, guys, have a good night.